Okay, and kind of listening to you kind of describe the days out, it sounds like there's going to be, at the start there'll be a little bit of, sitting down and lecturing and kind of going through the foundation anatomy that we all kind of need to do. But after that, it sounds like we're going to be getting up and doing stuff. We'll be doing a good chunk of assessments and then good chunk of the coaching or exercise side of things.
Absolutely. I've been to enough seminars where you sit there and you're just loading up on coffee all day because you just sit there and you're getting lectured to all day, and that's not how this is going to be at all. What I envision, and again, I haven't dialed everything in yet, but what I envision is a seminar where we spend an hour lecturing or an hour in a classroom and then an hour doing more hands-on work. So we're constantly kind of going back and forth. The other option is where we maybe do the morning where it's a little bit more lecture-based when people are a little bit more dialed in, and then when we come back from lunch, we'll focus on the hands-on stuff. So one of two ways that we can do it. I haven't really dialed that in yet, but absolutely. I want you guys to actually be able to do these things. I want you to take somebody through an assessment. I want you to start seeing the various issues that can come up in the assessment so that you know when you're coaching somebody what you need to look out for and what we need to focus on if we want to get the best results possible. So absolutely, Rick, we're going to mix it up. We're not going to be sitting in a classroom. I'm not going to lecture to you all day because it's not fun for you guys and it's not fun for me either.
That's a good point. And any last minute things that you want to let people know about the courses in December in Vancouver?
Sure. One thing that I always tell people is the personal training or strength and conditioning fields are very competitive at this point in time. There's more and more people coming out. And so if you're serious about the field, if you want to take your game to the next level, if you want to become an expert, seminars like this are really going to help you get there. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I know everything about the lower back or I know everything about the knee. But I do know in 8 hours, I can teach you guys a lot about my philosophy and the programs that I've used to get people results. When I spoke in Australia 2 years ago, we actually did a half day that was all lower back. And it's going to be somewhat similar to what we did, but the problem is when you only give something a half day, you can do some of the lecture. I can't give you all the materials. I can't cover the coaching as much. And that's what I think you're really going to enjoy the most. When you really start to learn to use your eyes, to trust your eyes, and to really stop and be present, you're going to find so many more things that you can refine and improve upon as far as your clients go. It's just one of those things where I'm obviously very excited about it. I know you guys are going to get a lot out of it, but at the end of the day, if you take yourself seriously, if you want to get better and you really want to step your game up as a trainer or coach, it's one of those seminars where, I'm pretty confident you guys are going to take a lot away. So.
Excellent. And then maybe if you can spend a minute just elaborating a little bit more on your background. I know I've read your full bio, and I know now that you focus a lot more on the performance side, but you've got a fair bit of experience when it comes to home training, doing kind of post-injury rehab. I think it was in a chiropractic clinic. I mean, maybe you can kind of go back a little bit and give us a little bit about your broad experience.
Sure. It's one of the questions I get quite a bit because I've been all over the place. When I was actually working on my master's degree at Ball State, I was a strength and conditioning coach at Ball State, so I worked with athletes from all 26 sports. That's when I really fell in love with the idea of training people or coaching people for a living because I'd always loved working out myself, and I knew that, I loved athletics, I loved sports, strength and conditioning was a perfect fit for me. I spent 2.5 years there finishing up my master's work, and then I moved up to a small city in northern Indiana called Fort Wayne, and there I spent 3 years doing what I would term chiropractic rehab. So I did very little sport performance training while I was there, and all I saw were people with injuries. And I saw everything from knees to lower backs to necks, wrists, shoulders, elbows, you name it. I probably saw it in my 3 years there. So I think that's where I really started to dig in and understand the rehabilitative or the corrective side of the training spectrum. From there, I spent 3 years. I moved down to Indianapolis. I spent 3 years doing one-on-one in-home personal training. And then in the last 2 years, Bill Hartman and I have opened Indianapolis Fitness and Sports Training, where we get a little bit of rehab. We get quite a few athletes as far as sport performance goes. We get your general fat loss and muscle gain type clients. But like you said, Rick, I've kind of seen all the different ends of the spectrum. I've held quite a few different positions, and I think that's really kind of helped influence my philosophy and given me a firm understanding of the coaching or training spectrum.
Excellent. Okay, well, thank you very much, Mike.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Rick.
No problem. And if you're interested in going to the Bulletproofing Your Client's Knees and Bulletproofing Your Client's Lower Back courses that Mike Robertson will be putting on in Vancouver on December 11th, that's the lower back, and December 12th, that's the knees. If you can just visit exercisesforinjuries.com. You just click on the courses area and you'll see Mike's course listed there, and you can take a look, get more information. You can always email myself and I can give you more details on things if you have them. So thank you very much for listening to this little interview with Mike, giving you a little bit more information on what you can expect from the courses in December. So this is Rick Kaselj from exercisesforinjuries.com signing off, saying take care and bye-bye.